Mic check. Right. And we're live. There we go. Cool. Hey, Travis. What up, dude? Cheers, Snowy. Thank you, mate. How's it going? On a new shop, Reven. SOS. What's up, mate? What up, dog? Peary, hi. Shane's, hi from Australia. Fifi, what up? Just give me a second. Just going to make sure that's charging. Apparently so, yeah. Okay. Supertech? No, I'm not at the new shop, mate, no. Cheers, Reven. Kevin, how's it going? Top Cat, David, Divigo, Sean. Half the fun was watching you freeze your nuts off in the shed, and that'll be me no more. Ha! How's it going, Phil? I sent you some graphics cards and a PS5. I'll drop you an email regarding them. Right, I'll try and check on that later, mate. Andrew, how's it going? The other Andrew. I think that's everyone. Yeah. We've got a little bit of a special switch to start the day. This is Switch Lite. It's been sent in by another YouTuber. It's been sent in by Switch It Up YouTube. So Switch It Up YT, I think, is the handle on YouTube. So should be interesting. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I think it does turn on, but I think it's no display. Thank you, Big Bird. Let's have a look. Okay, so we get 0.6 amps or 0.06 amps. And it don't seem to be charging. Sorry, it don't seem to be displaying, but I did try and turn it on the other day. And I heard something come up on it. Yeah, 1st of Feb, Fifi. Foxhound, how's it going, mate? Titan XP 12GB for 230 quid. Nice. Oh, that's awesome, mate. Possibly, yes, Andrew.
Andrew Henderson 1987 just resubscribed for 22 months. Ginger Loven.
Cheers, mate. I'm not sure, Kempy. That's strange. I'm not sure, mate. Upgrade from a 1080. No, nice. That's going to be a big upgrade. Canucks, how's it going? Right, what's going on with this? So, yeah, it looks like it's just not charging at all. I'm getting 0.06 amps current draw. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's no display, and it might actually be turned on, but just not displaying anything on the screen. Because I did hear something the other day when I tried to turn it on when it first turned up. How's it going, Wizard? Where do you get your SMD caps from? I generally just use donor boards for the most part, to be honest. Yeah, so when this makes a video, I'll leave it in the top pin comment, a link to the YouTube channel for this, the owner of this switch.
Hi Phil, how you're okay, mate?
How's it going, Michael? Thank you. Dean, thank you, mate. I'm good, thank you, buddy. Hope you're well. That's as far as you can go on 6th Gen. Yeah. Morning from the US. How's it going, Wizard? Ugh. Right. No SD card. No game. Just unplug this. I'm gonna press and hold the power button for 10 seconds. Just to hard reset it. Just see if it decides it wants to boot up. But I'm pretty sure this is booting up. Can I ask, what would chairs look like if our knees were on the back? Huh. It's a bit strange. Completely and utterly normal conversation there. L33, welcome. Yeah, it's a shop front. It's in Warsaw Town Centre, in the old square shopping centre. It might help if I actually paid attention and took out screws. Switch light, no power. No, it was making a sound the other day when I tried to boot it up, but now it's just not doing anything. Whoops. But it had no display. I've got a feeling it might be liquid damage, but I could be wrong. How's it going, T.O.? Might start fixing guitar lamps for Guitar Central. Manager's trying to talk you into it. Mate, if he pays enough money, go for it. Look, it's the best technician around. Where? Certainly not me that you're talking about there, mate. Right, well, it's not liquid damaged. But we have no display. So, I think I'm going to just try this inside a new housing, or inside a replacement housing for now, just to see if it boots up.
Tyre Sedan just resubscribed for 16 months. Hey Phil, how are you and the family doing?
We're good, thank you, TL. Thank you for subbing, mate. Hope you're well, buddy. Okay, this has been worked on before because that was the wrong screw in there. and that was already torn. This has definitely had a prior repair attempt, in the past at least. And that thermal paste is fresh as well. Oh. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, so I think the first thing I think I'm going to do is just try that in another housing. Because like I said, it did attempt to boot up the other day. It did make a sound like it wanted to boot. So I'll just remove this from hither. Pop that in there. I know this is a different colour, doesn't matter, it's just for testing. But I know all of the parts in this switch are good.
Mark_Lynch just resubscribed for 12 months.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for the support. Just to leave me guessing. Haha, probably. Right. Does this attempt to boot? It does. So it looks like we do have a screen issue. Yeah. So that's booting up. It appears to be working. So it looks like we've got a screen issue. Either a screen issue or a sideboard issue, one of the two. That does not look like a genuine sideboard to me. So I'll try that first before I go replacing screens. That's why it's good to have good test parts on hand. Question is, does a backlight come on this? Let's find out. No, it does not. Or at least not when I press the power button. 0.46 amps. No backlight. So we've got no backlight working on this screen, okay. Let's have a look at this. Ah, sideboard water damaged. Yeah, the sideboard itself is liquid damaged. You can see this here. What about this flex ribbon? Yeah, damaged backlight ribbon. Well, that sucks. Although, not the end of the world. Looks like the main ribbon here is damaged. The main pin here is damaged. I could technically just jump that and it should work. Missing a cap too. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. That's not been tinned. Let me just remove this speaker. Get rid of that. And that. It doesn't look like we've got too much wrong with the backlight board, or what, rather with the Joy-Con board. I'd have to test the buttons, obviously, but I could just jump this wire, this trace, and that would save the customer a fair bit of money, and I think that's probably going to be the cheapest solution, to be honest. Probably going to be the cheapest solution is to just run a jumper wire. Can you put better sticks in the Xbox Elite Series 2 controllers? If so, how much do you charge? There's a couple of options. You can buy the replacement sticks. I'm not sure how much they cost, so I'd have to get back to you on that. But then you can also get the TMR sticks, I think, as well. I'd have to get back to you on a price though, because I don't know the cost of them these days. It's not something I normally do. I can do it, but I don't normally do it. In terms of fitting, I'd charge £25 fitting to fit new sticks. Just tin a little bit of wire. Not a lot, Melvin. How are you, buddy? Right, where's my blade? There you are. How's it going, Ryan Labs? It would be best to probably email me one shot regarding it, mate. Oh, I'm going to be careful with the IPA here because I don't want it to go in the screen just in case the screen itself is good. I'm going to be careful how much IPA I use. Alright, let's try and get that in there, see if it goes in. Might be a little bit tight. There we are. Cool. Let's see if we've got continuity. Make sure it's making it. Make sure all the pins are making a contact. That's what she said. I really don't want to repair the traces on this customer ribbon. Yeah, I mean, it's more about cost effectiveness, really. I mean, one thing I don't agree with is running a jumper, for example, from the ribbon to the back of the connector. I do not agree with that at all, and the reason for that is because that's a permanent wire. For example, if I was to solder it from here to here, that's permanent, and it means you can't take this board out without breaking it. Whereas this is fine. Right, that one's got continuity, not short to the one next to it. Continuity, not short to the one next to it. Yeah. Continuity, not short to the one next to it. And continuity, yeah. All of those are making contact. So, that appears to be absolutely fine. So, yeah, like I said, the reason I do this, rather than replacing the entire screen, is because a new screen, just to buy the screen, costs £30, right? So, if I repair this by replacing the screen, number one, I've got to destroy the screen protector, which means that's going to have to be replaced. I've got to put heat on the board, on the housing to get the digitizer off. And then chances are I'm going to damage the digitizer and have to replace that. Then I've got to pay for the screen as well. Or rather, the customer's got to pay for the screen as well. So they've got to pay for a screen, potentially a digitizer, and then the labour. Whereas this, there's no parts. It's just labour. So instead of charging 80 quid for a repair, I can charge 50 quid for a repair. Customer's happy, I'm happy, saves me time, saves money, everyone's a winner. And it means we get to repair something instead of recycle it. Yeah, instead of replace it. Repair, reuse, recycle. That's the motto. So if this works now, we're good to go. assuming there's no liquid damage on the screen itself. Okay, time to test it. Come on, show me a display. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. It is booting up and turning on, it's just not displaying. Damn it. I have a feeling that my sideboard is knackered as well. So I'm going to change that. Because now it should have it should at least have a backlight where it hasn't. So we should at least see a backlight light up, and we're not. I'm going to try changing this sideboard. Well, I'll have a look at it as well.
Exploit Day 0 just resubscribed for 27 months. 27 months. Wow, you feeling my love, baby cakes?
Thank you, dude. Yeah, definitely do. Thank you, buddy. Baby cakes, you just don't know how I like it down low. Right. Well, it's not damaged on the other side, but let's just try another board anyway, just in case. I'm not seeing any damage on the flex ribbon either. Right, I'll just partially screw this in. Get that in there. before I plug it back in this side, unplug the battery so as it's turned off. Now, does it display? Yep, we've got a backlight and a display. Boom. There we go. Right, I'll have a look at that board in a second, see if I can do anything about repairing that. But, yep, not seeing any liquid damage on that screen. And we now don't have to replace it. Good stuff. Happy days. Let's have a look at this board quickly. Winner, winner indeed. Alright, so what's the deal with this? So, yeah, there's definitely some liquid damage around there. So this is the backlight connector here. It could literally just be that connector. It could literally just be that connector. Yeah, that pin's damaged. Yeah, okay. So that pin there is damaged. What's going on here?
Nimble_bits just resubscribed for 21 months. Good morning, Philbo.
Good morning, mate. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that, Nimble. It could be... Hang on. Let's get this on an angle. Right. Okay, it's burnt out the pin here as well. So to repair this, I'd need to replace both those connectors. So this one here, as you can see there, that pin's burnt. But if you follow that trace up through there, and it goes to one of these pins here, probably this pin here, what got burnt out on the ribbon. But we'd have to replace this connector here and this connector here, which, to be fair, probably not really economically viable to do. I mean, I will keep this for spare parts, but we could probably resolder it, but never mind. Yeah, probably not worth fixing, just replacing those connectors, just because of how cheap these boards are. They cost like £5 or £6 to buy. They're not expensive. There we are. Probably about a year, Dave. Oh yeah. All right, but yeah, that's all working. I can get these all put back together now and give it a full test out. Make sure everything's good. And I'll just keep this working board in there. Little trick for these, not that one, that one's the wrong one. Little trick for these, if you want to get that button aligned properly, you can pop out these buttons like that, and then if you drop that on there, you can line it up, screw it in, and then just pop the button back on. So pop that button in there, and damn it, I've left the freaking button out. I left the back button out like a numpty. that realigned. And then if this wants to play ball, there we are. I'll shut that down a second. There we go. Right, heatsink. I need some thermal paste though first. There we are. Fresh paste. I have just cleaned off that heatsink. It just wasn't in view of the camera. Pop. going to be some spare screws because I used the screws that was off to the side from the other switch. And the one I took the sideboard from. So there'll be a few spare screws left over. There we go. Okay, everything's back together. I'll get to chat in a minute, guys. Had to make sure that was lined up. Dang it. Just make sure it didn't go cross-threaded. Huh. I say that, and it is going cross-threaded. That's better. That's better. Right. Touchscreen works. Controllers and sensors. Test controller buttons. Huh. What happened then? Why does that? Huh. Okay, we have an issue with the sideboard. The power button presses the left analog down, and the left button does as well. Yeah. Huh. I've never come across that before. Okay. What the hell is the deal with that? That's an odd one. Oh, no, the battery's low, yeah. Yeah, so when I press that button in, it presses the power button at the same time. I don't know if that's just a sideboard issue or if it's something else. I guess I'm going to have to change the sideboard again and find out, I suppose. That's a odd one, to say the least. Oh yeah, I know the battery's low, yeah. That's not going to be the cause of it though. Or it shouldn't be the cause of it. Alright, well I can change the sideboard without taking everything else back out. Apart from that backplate, I've got to take that back off. But this is why we do tests after we repair stuff, because we have to make sure. I have to be 100% sure that everything's working, because if I didn't test that, it would go back and I'm sure the customer would be pretty pissed. So I'll try another board, and hopefully it is just a board issue. Could be analog with water damage and the button press short something else out. It can, but it's also doing it with the L button as well, so I don't see how that would be the case, but it is possible. Certainly a strange one, isn't it? I've never come across that before. Don't worry, while this bottom ribbon is not plugged in, there's no power going through this backlight. Power going to the LCD, but just not the backlight. So it's fine to mess with as long as I don't plug that ribbon in. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, it's a board issue. Yeah. That was weird. So there's something wrong with that board. I'll probably use that board and this board to make one good board. You know, I'll just nick the connectors off it, sort of thing. Yeah, okay, so just a sideboard issue. Nothing too major. Not an issue. That button works. I'm not going to bother lining this up like I did just. I can line it up while the button's on there. A little bit more awkward, but it's doable. There you go. There we are. Let's just test a game card. Minecraft. Is Minecraft on here already? Yeah. So do not delete Minecraft. My game's a bit dodgy, it might take a while. There we are. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, my game's a little bit dodgy at loading up. It's getting old now, it's a test game, etc, etc. So, yeah, there we go. That all seems to be working. Let's just test the analogs. Okay, it does lose connection there, so if I just calibrate that, yeah, so it's slightly off center. There we are. No, it's not losing connection because it's calibrated. And it goes dead center. Cool. Let's do this one. So even if it looks like it's centered and stuff, it could still have an issue. I mean, that one's a little bit loose, but it is okay. I'm going to calibrate it anyway. It is off center, very slightly. Yeah. Cool. Good. Job's a good one. This switch is fixed. Yeah, so this wasn't that bad. I mean, yes, I could have just replaced the screen. Yes, it's easier. But number one, it's not quicker. And number two, it's more expensive. So I'd rather repair the actual backlight if I can. Another option would be to take a scrap screen with a broken LCD and take the backlight from it, because it's only a strip of LEDs. They just sometimes don't go back together properly. Thank you, Russ. Cheers, mate. Right. Job done. Everything is working. Come on. Oh, I hate putting these back together. There we go. Come on. Why are you not going back together? There's no reason. There's no reason at all. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Cool. There we go. Happy days. I'm good, thanks, MacGyver. How are you, mate? Yaki Yam, how's it going? Welcome to anyone who I haven't said hello to. Yeah, I can't see any liquid damage on this screen, and the rest of the screen seems fine. Touchscreen's working. So I think in this case, repairing the backlight is better than replacing the entire screen, because, like I said, it's going to be fitting fee plus the cost of the new part if I do replace the screen, whereas in this case it's just labour only. And then obviously the cost of one of these boards as well, which, you know, they cost like no more than a tenner each. So yeah, happy days. Saves the customer the cost of a new screen, and as you've seen numerous times, I've unplugged it, plugged it back in, so you can unplug that screen and plug it back in with the jumper wire on it. It's not going to hurt it, it's not going to damage it, and it means that we can repair it again in the future if needed. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm good, MacGyver. How are you, mate? Yeah, TO, it could just be that ribbon connector, yeah. Possible. Right, anyway. Yeah. Oh, I never tested Wi-Fi, did I? Should make sure that works. If it ever clicks. Yeah, it's picking up my internet. Good shit. And it's updated the time as well, so it's definitely working. Cool. Job done. Happy freaking days. Right, I'm going to go grab the next job. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Just realised I need to call the customer. Might help if I took my phone. I'm back. Don't worry. Right. Coffee in hand. Console on desk. On to the next one. Sorry guys. Ugh. Okie dokie. I couldn't find that customer's phone number, so I'll have to go through the system for it, but then someone else called me, so yeah, sorry about that. Right. Time to get some work done. Well, some more work done, should I say. Jesus Christ, how many messages can someone fucking send me? Jesus. Alright, relax for fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Oops. Fuck's sake. Oops. Right. How's it going, Delboy? Front USB ribbons. Possibly, mate, if you drop me a message on Discord. How's it going, Arctic? Delboy? Jeremy, mate, how's it going? I am good. Alright. I think... my mate Lee said he's watching me live, so he can hear what I'm saying about him. Good, he's a prick. Hey, show your face, Lee. Show your face, Lee. Alright, on to the next one. So this is a Series X, and what do you know? It don't turn on. Of course it don't. No, Ben, I don't really work on 360s, mate. Yep, so no power, typical. This has been opened before, but I think all that's been tested on this is the power supply. So hopefully we'll be able to fix it. Let's heat this sticker up, even though it's already been damaged. Still don't want to damage it any more than it already is. There we are. It's a power supply issue. No, apparently the power supply has been tested on this one. So yeah, fingers crossed, get it working. have any solutions to a V2 with parental lock and don't have any information to unlock it? Yeah, just go on the Nintendo website and you can unlock it yourself. Let me just get a link. Hang on. I'll grab a link to it. Parental lock is absolutely crap. You need to do it on Google Chrome. It has to be done on Google Chrome, but if you go to this following link, you can go to that link and just enter your details and it'll unlock it for you. You don't need to be the original account holder. Alrighty then, let's have a look, shall we? No, I've definitely done more Xbox Ones. Talking of, that friend that just said he's watching me live gave me an Xbox the other day, an original Xbox One, in the box with the Kinect. So, sweet. I've actually got to look at his laptop as well. Well, so I say got to. I've offered to fix it for him. It needs a screen and whatnot. It's an old laptop, but yeah, it needs a screen and it needs reinstalling as well. Yeah, we'll probably see some Nintendo Switch 2s coming in, but I mean, the one thing I'm going to see less of, I think, based on what I've seen for the Switch 2, the one thing I think we're going to see less of is broken charger ports. Not because they're made better, but just because they put them on the top of the port instead of putting them on the bottom. I think that will cause a few less to break. They're still going to get broken, but I think less will get broken. Just given the location of the port and the fact that there's 2 ports on it now and not 1. Cheers, Electro Rep. Thank you, buddy. I don't have the passwords. You don't need them. You don't need them. As long as you can actually get onto the Switch and you can access the master code by entering the wrong code 5 times, 6 times, you'll be able to get it off. It's not a problem. You don't need it. You don't need account details. Alright. Start taking this apart. Yeah, what you'll probably find is when the Switch when the Switch 2 is coming for repair, it'll come in for repair with 2 broken ports and not 1. That's probably going to be the case, assuming that both ports can be used for charging and one's not just for data only. I assume. But I think there's going to be more broken screens because of the Joy-Cons being magnetic. I think they're going to fall off. People are going to hold them just by the Joy-Con itself and they're going to fall just because they're magnetic. That's what I can see happening. So we're going to end up with more broken screens, less broken ports. That's my prediction. I cannot answer my phone. Someone's ringing me and I can't answer. Hi, well, how's it going? Michael, how you doing, buddy? You like the Joy-Con rails? What, the old ones? Or the new ones? I believe the magnets will be strong enough. I don't think they will. Honestly, I just don't think they will. we're talking kids' devices here, but we're talking stuff that kids use. I mean, not just kids. I've got my own Switch, but they're primarily designed for kids, and I think the fact that the Joy-Cons are magnetic is going to be a problem. Right, we have a V2 board. So first and foremost, let's test the power supply. So multimeter in voltage mode. Do we have 12 volts? We do. 11.75 volts. That is completely normal. So now, do we have a short on the safe bridge board on 12 volt? I should pop that out there. Sorry, no, this is a V1 board. I thought it was a V2. Oh well. Do we have a short on the 12 volt for the safe bridge board? We do. Just giving that a minute just to see if it drains any caps. In fact, if you go into resistance mode and just check the resistance, what that'll do is it'll drain the caps on the 12 volt rail, and then if we go back into continuity mode now, yeah, exactly as I thought. Just a false positive because there is still power in the capacitors. So we don't have a short on that board. So I'll pop that to one side a second and check if we have a 12 volt short on this board. We do. So again, meter in resistance mode. We get 0 ohms, so that's not draining the caps. So we definitely have an APU board short here. Cool. Okay, so the issues with this board then, and not this board. So this board can go to one side. Get rid of that. Likely going to have a Mosfet issue or a bad capacitor on the main 12 volt rail. Just get a flat-ended screwdriver to pry this up.
Technicnadat just resubscribed for 24 months. Hi everybody.
Thank you, Technic. How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Right, that should be enough to pop this off. There we are. Good stuff. Damn, that was tight. Okay, I already see some issues here on this puppy. I don't think I need to use the thermal cam to find this one. Okay, pop the heatsink off to one side. Just get rid of that flex ribbon. And wah wah wah. She's gone boom. So the MP86912 has gone kaboom. Not saying that's the only issue, but that is an issue. Hopefully it hasn't damaged the board itself. But yep, that is physically cracked to the point where the plastic's actually coming off, and you can see the silicone. So yeah, that has got incredibly hot. Fused to the board indeed. Yeah, so I'm going to go maximum temperature here, 60% airflow, just to maximize things. And I'm also going to put a nozzle on so as I can restrict the air. So because this has got so hot, it probably is fused to the board, and it's probably going to take some doing to get it off, to be honest. But never mind. Don't you love a welding Mosfet at 4 PM on a Monday? We do indeed. Hey, switch up. You just missed your repair. I've just worked on it on stream. So I'll give you a call once I finish streaming, if that's all right. Alright, so that is pretty badly damaged there. Yeah, so this one side is fused to the board, as you can see. So this side's desoldered, but this side's just stuck. Yeah, it's took the traces with it, look. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Recording a review anyway, I'll watch that section of the stream now. No worries, thank you, appreciate it. Everyone, if you're looking for reviews and stuff on Switch games and things, check out Switch Up. Switch Up is the owner of the Switch that I've just repaired. Very good channel for game reviews. Highly recommend checking it out. Yeah, that's pretty rough, that is. This is going to take some doing if we're going to be able to fix this. Let's see, how bad are we? Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough, my friends. Right, so what are the options here? So, I mean, this really, basically, oh, it's carbonized underneath as well. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to break all of this away. Like, all of this is going to have to be cut. If we want any chance of fixing this, that's going to have to go. For a start. So it's basically, what's happened here is it's fused itself to the board. And the layers have all shorted together because, well, it's basically just burnt itself and caused it to be one big trace instead of obviously multiple traces. How the heck can this happen? Just an internal short, and it's obviously just got too hot. So that's going to have to go.
Russ just gifted 1 subs.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate the support, mate. Thank you for paying it forward. Right, gonna need to do a bit of grinding here, get rid of this carbonization or whatever the hell you call it. I don't think it's actually carbonization, it's just that's just what we call it. I'm gonna have to use the grinding pen a little bit, I think. I'll find out in a second. I mean, in fairness, it would run absolutely fine without that on there. It just wouldn't run as efficiently. Look worse than it is. Yeah, I think it's just a top layer. I mean, I'm still going to have to restore a bunch of tracks. I think that's going to need to come off just to make sure it doesn't short. Or at least just fold it over. Just to make sure it doesn't short out. Why does my light keep flickering on and off? Probably best to just break this away. There you go. Right. Okay, so yeah, I think it's worse. It looks worse than it is, but the problem here is, if you look here, you see this exposed copper? That's an internal layer, right? So what's happened is the Mosfet's failed, obviously, in spectacular fashion, as Mosfets do. So the Mosfet's failed. It's caused it to get hot, and that's caused the lamination to burn away underneath this top layer. that in turn has caused the top layer to short with this layer, but this is going to be a big ground plane. This isn't going to be connected to the top layer, right? So that's then in turn causes it to short more, which causes it to get hotter, and the cycle continues until eventually it burns through the actual board, or burns through the entire board. Luckily in this case it isn't that bad, so it's not as bad as it could have been. So what we're going to need to do is first of all just coat this middle layer, because that's going to be a ground, or it should be a ground. So if I go into continuity mode and I check one probe on ground against this layer here, yeah, that layer underneath is ground. So obviously if we put the Mosfet back on, run some jumper wires, those jumper wires are then going to touch this and we're going to be back to square one. So we need to conform or coat that and protect it. So that's plan number one. Well, rather, that's step number one in the plan, should I say. Step number two is then going to be to try and restore those traces as best I can. Luckily we haven't got to use the grinding pen, so we haven't got to faff around with that. So let me just find my conformal coating out. And yes, I know it's called solder mask, not conformal coating. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Ah, there's my coating. Right. And where's my UV light? There. There you are. Giddy up. Alright. So yeah, step number one, recoat that middle layer. Or that internal layer. It's not the middle layer, it's just the second layer. I think these are like 14 layers, these boards. Pretty thick boards, to say the least. So we need to coat this, protect this entire layer, and even though this bit's not exposed, I'm going to coat the entire channel. Don't need to coat these parts here, so that there, that there, that there, that there, that there, that there, and that there, I don't need to coat. Okay, let's just plug them in. Right, so I've got my UV light. I'm going to leave that there for about 2 minutes. Can't the factory layer coating be more temperature resistant? Not really. You're not just talking like 100 degrees here, you're talking with how hot this would have got. It would have got around about 300 degrees Celsius, maybe more. Like that would have got hot. Congrats to your new lease. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Make sure the shorty's gone. Yeah, I will do in a minute. I'm just covering that layer just because it doesn't look like it's fused anymore. Oh, the blob will just push away. Like I can get rid of that. That will just scrape away. Just like that. Because it's so thick, it'll take a while for it to actually clear up. solder mask conforms to coat the area that it's applied to. Ha! Love it. Alright, I'm going to need to grab me a donor board. So, while that's doing that, I may as well grab one of them. Reason being is simply so I can look at where the traces go and recreate them. Make my life a little bit easier when it comes to actually doing it. I can map them out and then run jumper wires. Alright, while I'm doing that, while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to remove one of those Mosfets from my donor board. So I've got a donor board just here.
Soxrican just resubscribed for 21 months.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, mate. Yeah, so I've got a donor board here with some Mosfets on. May as well take one off while I'm waiting. What's going on with this hot air? Huh. Right, anyway, that should be done now. Let's have a look. Solid, beautiful. Cool, there we go. So there's that. Then we'll put it absorbing the heat. Yeah, definitely, 100%. Right, so yeah, that area is, or appears to be, pretty well cured. It's not the greatest, but it'll do. A little bit loose there, but it's fine. It's absolutely okay like that. So next step is going to be to tin everything. Tin everything. So tin all of this. This takes a lot of heat, this area does. I tin these resistors and caps because I'm going to need to run jumper wires to them. And then on top of that, yeah, I'll check the short in a second, mate. I think I'm going to need this wire just here. I think I need that wire just there because it looks like one of the traces is going off to that wire. Right. Takes a lot of heat, this does. I mean, it is a big ground plane right on the main power phases. There we are. Right. Do we have a short on the 12 volt rail now? So, ground. Ah, yes we do. Damn it. We do still have a short on 12 volt. That sucks. What about the backside? What's the backside saying? Right, looks like we're going to have to inject voltage. That sucks. Unless one of these caps has failed as well. Remove these caps. Bridge block always triggers my OCD. Yeah, even though it doesn't actually make a difference. Damn it. I'll just remove those caps off that line. Just test it again. Still short. I'm going to have to inject voltage. That sucks. That sucks. Just a tad. Right. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm actually going to make a bench supply cable real quick. Since I've got a faulty power supply lying around. Come on. Come on. Probably using the wrong soldering iron tip for this. Here's a bigger one. Oh fuck. Damn, that takes some heat. Jesus. Good lord, that takes some heat. There we go. Right. That'll work. That'll work. Cut up some old cables. Those cables are knackered. The pins are, the probes are knackered on them. This is just going to make it easier to actually inject voltage. There's that one. Now I'm just going to find a red probe. Where's my other red probe gone? I know I've got one somewhere. There you are. Well, it's actually not a red probe, it's a yellow one, but never mind. There you are. Just casually chopping up bench supply leads. Why not? Do. Come on. There we are. Now I've got a bench supply cable. Now I've got a bench supply cable. Ha! Got him. Right. Yeah, I know that was the long way around just to be able to inject voltage, but it'll save me time in the future, so why the hell not? Let me just test this. See what we get. Make sure we get 4 volts because that's what it's set to right now. Yoink. Dang it. Stuff I'll test it from this side. Yep, 4 volts there. Okay. So if I set that to 1 volt and plug it in. Yeah, there we go. So I'm getting 5 amps of current draw there. I'll tidy all that up later. I'll heat shrink it and everything, but it'll do for now. We're getting 5 amps of current there at 0.59 volts. So we are getting a bit of voltage drop. I'm going to need the thermal cam. Long way around today for tomorrow's shortcut. Exactly, mate, yeah. Exactly. Alright, thermal cam is on. Let me just plug the mic back in. Yeah, thermal cam's on. Let's have a look. See if we see anything out of the ordinary. A little bit of heat down there. Just there, but we do have some viscous paste. Yeah, definitely a sign of heat down there. On that Mosfet in particular. What about the other side of the board? No. Oh, there's something. Or there was something. Was that just reflections? Possibly, yeah. Yeah, we've got some signs of heat on this Mosfet here. Alright. It doesn't look damaged. So it looks fine, but we have got signs of heat there. Right on that Mosfet. If I just pinpoint that, you'll see that's where the heat's coming from. It's pointing to that Mosfet there. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to just close the thermal cam software. we are. And I've still got power running through this, so I'm going to remove this MOSFET while the power is still running through and just see if it gets rid of the short. It's only 1 volt, so it's not going to hurt anything at all. Okay, and I've just seen so we've got some voltage drop. We was at 0.58 volts with the voltage drop because of the current limiting. And it's gone up to 0.59 volts when I put heat on it, so it is possible that this is the cause. Yeah, we're up to we're up. There we go. Right, yep, that's just cleared the short. So I'll do that so as I can get live feedback. It's only 1 volt, it's not going to hurt it, but I'll do that just to get live feedback, and that has just cleared that short. So now, if I go into continuity mode on the multimeter, unplug my bench supply cable, and test the 12 volt line again. So meters in continuity, there's a ground point, no short, short's gone. So it looks like we've got 2 failed MOSFETs on this board, and now the short is clear. Good. So now I can start to restore this damn thing. If I put a MOSFET on here, you'll probably find that this console will turn on. So I'm going to drop one on here first. Don't really need to re-tin this. There's enough solder there to the point where it's going to solder back on absolutely fine. I'm going to drop my airflow down, go to 20%. The reason I'm doing this is because there's heat in the board already on this side, so I'll do it here now and then it's done then for this side. Thank you. Alright, that's partially soldered on. Oh, thank you, Stoney, sorry. Okay, that's just about getting ready to flow. There we are. Move that away a second. Press down and done. Cool. So that should be flowed down, should be soldered nicely. Good to go there. Let's just clean that flux up as best I can. It makes a little bit of a mess, but it's fine. So the problem with the viscous paste being there is you end up with a bit of a mess. Just cover that back up though. And then I can go ahead and start running jumper wires to this thing. I do need some replacement components here first though, because I took these off to try and isolate that short, but obviously it wasn't in that area. I mean, it could have been. It could have still had a short on that area. We have had a multi-component failure on this one, but it doesn't matter. The capacitors don't cost anything really. A couple of pence each. It's fine. Beep, you bastard. Thank you. Alright, so we've got the 3 caps there which need replacing. This is a bit out of focus because I'm just removing caps from a donor board. Come on. Right, there's one. Put that off to one side. There's the other 2. Put those roughly in line. James, been a member for 7 months. Thank you, mate. Double cap pull at once. Yes, indeed. Alright, so there's those. If I just add some flux now. Flow them down. Because they're roughly in place, it should just jump in. Maybe not. Needed a little bit of a gentle persuasion then. It's fine. Touch them up with the iron, be alright. There we are. Alright. Now comes the fun part. Trying to figure out where the hell these traces go and actually running jumper wires for them. Right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tin a bunch of this jumper wire. How's it going, bipedal? Yeah, so I'm going to tin a bunch of this, right? Because I'm going to be using conformal coating anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're exposed. Plus I've already used coating to protect the board layers. So we should be okay. So I'll tin a bunch of it. And then what I'm going to do, the ones that I know where they go, I'm going to run now. Right, in fact, let me just double check them. Yeah, good, thanks, mate, good.
James Cosby just resubscribed for 9 months, coming at you from all sides.
Thank you, buddy.
Congrats on the shop.
Thank you, mate, I appreciate you, mate. Right, there's actually a pad there which is still there, and I don't need to run a jumper for it, just there. So this one just here, I can see where that goes. So I can just run a wire. Same with this one. Goes to the other side of that cap. And this one here is actually a double pad, so it goes to the two pads go to the one area, so I don't need to worry about that. So then this one here, I can see goes to this resistor. Like that. Right, so let me just make sure I've got enough to reroute that. It's almost spot on. I can trim that in a minute though. Pointless chopping and redoing it when I can just go like that and cut it away. Got one which I believe goes to this R2J1, but I'm not 100%, so let's just double check. So it's R241, not R2J1. I'll just double check that. So I think that's going to be for this. Yeah, and then we've got one which goes to this via up here. Okay, so there's only 2 left to do. No worries, Wizard. I'll take a look later on, mate. Okay. Right, I think we're done. I'll position them now. Once I've just got rid of this flux, position them and then coat them. Make sure that they're going to stay in place. Alright, a little bit of OPA.
Stop sending me money. It's weird. Stop it.
James Cosby donated $2. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying.
Thank you, James, and I couldn't agree more. Thanks for the support, buddy. I really appreciate it. Alrighty. Right, I know that looks a mess at the minute. Don't worry. There's one from the 2 caps in the bottom through the middle to the top. Yeah, I think you might be right. Hang on. I'll just double check. Yeah, it goes to this M pin. Okay, I'm with you there. Yeah, I'll try and get that sorted in a minute. James just gifted membership. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I'll deal with that one in a minute. I've just got to try and position these. Right, so thank you, wizard. Hey, Raj, thank you, mate. Right, so we've got one that needs to go from here to these caps here, running through the middle. Kind of like a long pad, right? So I'm going to need to tin quite a bit. So I'll tin it through there. And then I'm going to manipulate it a little bit. So it needs to go across there like that. And then back over to this cap. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate you, mate. Yes, I believe that's how it goes. And then there is one end one, but that's just a ground, so not overly worried about that. All right. I think that's going to be in the right position. So there's meant to be one trace here as well, but that's just a ground, so I'm really not bothered about it. It's literally just going to be a ground point. So I think that should be about good enough. I certainly hope so. But now I'm going to need to coat it again. So where did I put my coating? Got my USB, my UV light. But where did I put my coating? There you are. So put a little bit over there. A little bit that side as well. And then just need to cover all of these. There we are. So I'll just make sure that they're not going to move when I use hot air to, yeah, get them secure. To solder the new chip down. So she's all good. Right. So UV time. There you are. Should be good to go. Now I just want one more Mosfet. I need to pull one of these off while I'm waiting.
James Cosby cheered X60. How is the weather across the pond? A lot of snow here in the States.
Thank you, James. It's cold at night, but it's okay in the day. We're not really getting any snow anymore. It's not too bad. There we are, there's a replacement Mosfet ready. Cool. Good stuff. I'm just going to give that another 15 seconds or so to cure. Using the P2 Pro when you're imaging blurry, any ideas? Use a TC view in the original software. No, Wizard, I don't. He's waking up, going back to sleep. Oh, he's probably just tired, sir. Is it blurry with the macro lens on, or if it's blurry with the macro lens on, it's because you're too far away. You need to go really, really close with the macro lens. What's his temperature now, sir? 15 Fahrenheit, damn. Or minus 15 Fahrenheit, damn, that's cold. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Boover. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you, mate. Missed what you said, Phil. Sorry, dude. If it's blurry when you're up close with the macro lens on, if it's blurry when you've got the macro lens on, it's because you're too far away. You need to be up really, really close if you've got the macro lens on. If not, it'll be blurry up close. If you haven't got the macro lens on, it'll be blurry up close, but not blurry far away. Need to add my Prime account. Alright.
Game Joynick just resubscribed for 14 months. Hope all goes well in your new venture.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you, mate. Oh, man, I'm knackered. So, what's his temperature now? Cody's. Alright, that's nice and solid. I just need to see if it lines up properly with the Mosfet itself. So, pin 1, top right. It's going to be difficult to get this to solder down. It's also going to be difficult to actually see these pins. I have to try and get it on an angle without the Mosfet falling. Can't see it. Hang on. Just gonna clean the edges off. Might be easy just to add a little bit of flux just to help keep it sat down while I'm tilting it. It's hard to tell, to be honest. But I think it's about right. I think the wires are all roughly in the right place. Heat and hope, I guess. It's the trouble when you're doing trace repair, for example, underneath a IC, because it's just guesswork as to whether you get it right or not. I'm going to put my airflow down to 10%. Damn you. Put it down to 10%, it still pings off. It might be easier if I actually tin the pads actually on the FET itself, just because I want to give it every chance for the solder to make a contact. Right. Okay. Fingers crossed. PS5 disc edition. No, sorry, mate. Right, let's clean this up and have a look again, see if I can see anything. See if anything's obviously wrong. Right, let's have a real close look. Yeah, see, it's hard to tell. Real hard to tell. Well, we're about to find out because I'm going to test it. Let's give it a whirl, shall we? It's about all we can do. Grab a bit of spare viscous paste there. There we are. If that works, it will be amazing. I'm 50-50. I mean, it should work, but you never know. I mean, theoretically, it should work fine without the Mosfet there, right? So as long as nothing's short, it should be okay. In fact, I think they actually did remove that specific Mosfet on V2 boards. Right. Thermal paste. There we are. Right, we are. Slightly misaligned. Damn it. There we are. Right, I've got a test Nexus board here, so I've been putting it all back together. Moment of truth. No bangs and smoke, but no power. Damn it. Well, that sucks. Well, that sucks. Has that short come back? Yeah. Ah, that's annoying. What did I miss? A pretty bad short. How's it going, CMI, RB, Aiden? Thinks not yet, Alex. No, but I will have on the 1st of Feb. Well, I'll get the keys on the 1st of Feb. Right. So isn't that Mosfet what's causing it to short again? Knock up my airflow. Yeah. Yeah, it's no longer short on 12 volt with that MOSFET removed, so either it's blown that FET again, or it wasn't soldered properly. One of the two. Okay, what's the deal with that? Huh. Was that line bad as well? Huh. Right, let's try soldering this back on. Alright, let me test that again. Okay, it's showing up as short with the Mosfet on. So the thing I don't know now is whether it's the Mosfet that's short. I mean, I could have pulled a bad one. But is it the Mosfet that's short, or is it an issue with the traces? From what I can tell, the traces are correct. I'm going to pull one from a donor board. From another donor board, should I say. Wires look misaligned with the left-hand pads. I don't think so. They could be, but I don't think they are. Alright. There's no short there now. I'm connected to 12 volt in continuity. There's no short there on that. It's just whether or not it blows when I apply power to it again, I suppose. But there's no short on it now. Just try it. That's all we can do. Try it, see if it pops again. If it does, I'm going to take the Mosfet off and leave it off, because I'm pretty certain that on a V2 board, that specific Mosfet got removed. Because it wasn't actually needed. Solder wires directed to the chip. No, because then I've got to solder the actual I've got to solder the chip to the board with the wires in place, and there's nothing to hold them. Either that or I've got to do every single wire. It's possible, but it's so difficult to do. It's just incredibly difficult. Yeah, fingers crossed it don't fry it this time. No. I think it's fried that Mosfet again. Alright, well I think, because I'm almost sure on a V2 board, I'll double check, but I'm almost sure that specific MOSFET gets removed. And that's just blowing my MOSFETs. It's either that or there's another fault and it's causing it to blow the MOSFETs. Don't know. Okay, I can do it without removing the heatsink. Do it without removing the heatsink. It'll work. I mean, if it powers on, it will stay on. It's just whether or not it's able to carry the load. Yeah. What's the matter? You gave him cowpole? Alright. Yeah, you need to do that. Huh? Yeah, but you need to give him calpine and see if it goes down. Yeah, just give him calpine, check again in 10 minutes. In half an hour. Could be. I'm going to end the stream in a second anyway. Sorry, Cody's not well, he's got a temperature, so we're trying to keep an eye on it. No, it looks like he's going to keep blowing them. Yeah, that's not good. Unless that's still in short mode. No, it's not the APU. Should start without that FET. It should, but it's not. 1st of Feb, Deadeye. Thank you, mate. Right, let's try it now. No. No, I think this is just going to keep blowing MOSFETs. I don't think it's worth carrying on. That sucks. Shitty way to end the stream. Could the power supply be bad? No, the power supply has been tested. I've tested the power supply. It's putting out 12 volts. And the power supply, it's the APU board that's developing a short every time. So, yeah, what can you do, I suppose? What can you do? So if I go into voltage mode, yeah, it's still short, dead short as well. So yeah, that sucks. Right, I'm going to end the stream because Cody's not well and I need to go and keep an eye on his temperature and stuff. So I might stream again a little bit later. I don't know yet, I've got other stuff to do, but I'm not going to carry on with this because it's just not worth keep blowing MOSFETs. They're not cheap, you know. It is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, if it's just going to keep blowing FETs, I mean, it's not even powering on without that MOSFET on there, and it should be. So it's probably blowing another MOSFET. It is what it is. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. At least we got that switch working earlier on. So at least we had a successful fix. But yeah, I'll try and stream a bit later on. If not, then I don't know, probably tomorrow or something. Yeah, take it easy, everyone. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. I'll see you all in the next one.